What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV. I'm back again this afternoon. It's Transfer Shore, and I've got two lads that's going to help us along the way. I've got Pete, and I've also got Jamie as well. Big up to you guys.
How you doing, John? You all right?
Absolutely fantastic. And how's Jamie?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Not too bad. Guys, thank you very much for asking there. And just before we go on, if guys like to feel like what you watch, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe button as well. Super chats are open as well if you'd like to donate. And also, if you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p as well. We are going to keep saying that because for those who are new to the channel as well, I've got Eddie's Football Raffle. Hi to you, mate. Hope you're well. Thank you very much indeed for that. I hope you enjoyed the Euros tonight. Estella Garza, big up to Mason. I hope you're well. If it's Italian, I would say buonasera, come stai, and bella giornata la Bristol. And that's lovely in Bristol. And big up to Andrew DB. Hope you're good as well, mate. And yeah, just before we go on, we are not in the IT gear, right? All it is, right? We just discuss some players that I'm linked with Newcastle United. We discuss about them, where they fit in, and we're going to talk about them from strengths and weakness as well. We're not going to say on here, he's going to come to us, he's going to be signing, etc. That ain't going to happen anytime soon. We don't make fake news as well. We talk about it, you could tweet about it, but some of the fan base of late, especially our fan base, haven't got each other making up crap. And I tell you what, it is what it is. And we just discussed, that's what we did the transfer show. And I've seen people as well saying that we shouldn't be doing trans things like that because it just leads to lies. No, we're not. They do transfer shows all over the world, or podcasts as well. So I'll just get that right away. Big up to Johnny Moses. I hope you're well, Johnny. If you can, Johnny, if you subscribe to my podcast, that'd be amazing. Easy to come on YouTube and go from there. But thank you very much for asking. And I'm like it at Christmas now. How are we in England? Yes, massive again. And Mason saying it's Spanish there. Here's the thing. Thank you for that, Mason. Right, let's go on to the first target. Start with you, Pete. As Malick Thiaw for AC Milan. He's got a market value of 30 million quid, but I think Milan probably between 35 and 40 million is going to deal. He's a German international, 6'4", and he's joined them for Schalke 2 seasons ago. This guy is being linked with Newcastle, and there's a couple of rumours saying that the deal might already be done. I believe it when I see it, but this guy, I watch the Italian football. This guy is a really good young defender, and he is destined for the greatness. And Pete, tell about him, man.
Yeah, really, really good defender, as you've mentioned. Right centre back is a place we need to look at as well, and particularly Fabian Schär in his 30s now, not getting any younger. Same with Jamal Lascelles. We could do with that right-sided centre back to get a new player in. Through the door as well, and I think it would be a great buy if we were to get him in. We know there's talks that people say it's close. We'll just wait and see. Take it with a pinch of salt. Let's see what Sky and reliable media sources come out with. But I think it'd be a great fit as well, and it'd be a great partnership alongside Botman when Botman does come back, if we were to get this lad through the door. So I can understand why there's a lot of rumours going around. We're being linked with him as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd be a perfect fit for us. Absolutely, I would have him.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamie, Malick, I think for me, I know people say that he has made a couple of mistakes. I get that, but he's quite raw. I mean, he can play in the back three, but can he play in the back two? That's the question number one. He could also play defensive midfield. He could also play right back as well. And I think this guy is you could get him for three positions for the price of one.
Absolutely. I think the deal works for both sides. AC Milan have 6 current centre-backs, so you'd like to think they wouldn't need all 6, so maybe they could sell. And Malick could be the right person. And also, Newcastle have 4 centre-backs, don't they? And they've got Botman, who's had his injury problems, but he's been a solid centre-back overall. Fabian Schär, as Pete mentioned, that he is in his 30s. Lascelles, again, injury problems, not reliable, but also do Newcastle need him when you're going to be challenging for Champions League positions in Europe for next season? I don't think he's going to be needed. But I like him. However, he is often injured. He's a bit of an injury-prone player, and he missed 16 games last season due to injury and suspension. So do you want that in your team? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, you are right, John, that he can play in several positions, and £30 million probably would be a bargain for someone like him.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to understand why Milan want to sell him, because already try and get a lad from Red Star. Well, sold Patovic, I think, if I'm announcing his name right. I mean, he could be on his way to the San Siro, making room for Malick to be moved on to us if the deal goes through as well. And he played last season in the Milan team that finished second, and finished second twice, by the way. I mean, Milan rate him very highly. Pioli likes him and tried to play him at a back three. So what I like about this guy, he's got pace, he can move the ball, and he's quick, physically strong, and I think this guy is exactly what we need. I mean, look, we need to upgrade our centre backs as well. For one, I mean, Fabian Schär's not going to last another season. Maybe he might be going back to Switzerland next season. Maybe, so we don't know that. Jamal Lascelles' time at Newcastle, in my opinion, is done. I'm not going to lie. I know he's our captain, but he's not going to improve us. But for me, we need to freshen up at the back.
Well, that's it, because you don't want to keep the same defenders, because there will be a time when it will get found out and the age will start really catching up on them at some point. So it's sensible to strengthen that position. It really, really does. And again, if we do get him in, 22 years of age as well, very, very young for a centre-back as well. 30 million, bargain in these windows these days as well, what Jimmy just said. It's a position we do need to sort out, because there will be a time where some players' legs will not take it. Even though Fabian Schär's been a great assistant, servant for, he's been brilliant for us lately. But he's 32, 33 in December. So that is knocking on. I believe this will be Fabian Schär's last season. Same with Jamal Lascelles as well. I think this will be both of them last season with us. So to get that extra centre back in, and this window it's a no-brainer.
100%. I mean, look, we love Fabian Schär. I mean, he's been in the club since 2017, and I tell you what, this guy just gets better and better with age. And I really think Schär, whoever gets him next season, has got an absolute bargain. I think he'll probably end up moving to Switzerland to his first club, or he may end up having 1 or 2 seasons in the Bundesliga, and I think it'd be perfect there. But we got Fabian, and we'll see on that one. If we look at this his style of play, I mean, he is quick. His aerial fit has been fantastic. His ball recovery is excellent. You look at it, Jimmy, right? I mean, his legs are rangy and long, and his wingspan is very, very impressive. And all of his contributes to the Germans over when present. 6'4", he has got one hell of a essence. And not only that, last season, he boasted aerial success rate at 72%. And that placed him in the top 2% of centre backs across Europe back then. So this guy, for 30 million quid or up to 35, I think we got a bargain if we do buy him.
Well, last season, wasn't it the most goals conceded from set pieces, right? And you see with Sven Botman and you see with Malick that you see two really tall players, aggressive players in the air, and players that arguably will concede less corners for your team, right? And we're seeing football always changing, and set pieces last season was a main focus for a lot of teams. However, with your 4 centre-backs that you've got in the club, they're not good enough. They need to go. And you've got Sven Botman who can build on that along with Malick. And I think that can be a really good partnership. But obviously you need centre-backs with good aerial ability, which he's got. You need good strength, which he's got. And an added bonus, he's fast as well. So that is an all-rounded, very good centre-back. And if he goes to the right club, Newcastle or wherever he may end up, even if he stays in Italy, I think he is going to be a really good centre-back when he reaches his 28, 29 years, because 22 is very young for a centre-back to be playing for second-place sides in the top divisions in the world.
Absolute fact. We've got some more comments coming through. Big up to Peter. Hope you're well, mate. We're also being linked with Antonio Silva, the Monday for me. I'll just be clear. I've seen a report about Antonio Silva being linked with him, right? Someone said 40 million quid. Let me just be clear. This guy has got a buyout clause between 80 and 100 million pounds, according to Benfica, right? So I don't think we'll be paying that much for him anytime soon. I can tell you that right away. Absolutely right away. Rodriguez, I'll comment to you in a bit. Big up to you, Mick. Hope you're well. I got your tweet message this morning. and I'm trying to learn Japanese. I definitely probably will, but I just learned the basics. Big up to Rodriguez as well. Rod, if you come into the YouTube channel and stick a like on, that'd be fantastic. Kevin Danso, I tell you what, that guy's an absolute beast. Austrian international. He is really, 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 really good. And we probably talk about it another time. But you have to understand, Pete, why do Milan want to get rid of Malick Thiaw? I don't understand that. I think he'd be perfect for Serie A. He could have stayed for another couple more seasons and then move on. But you know what? If you're linked to him, I tell you something now. I think this guy, he is absolutely awesome. I have a problem with him coming in. I'll watch Serie A. This guy gets better and better. If you look at the style of play Milan they play under Stefano Pioli, it was 3 at the back. Yeah. Can he do the 2 at the back? He can't. I think he can, but most of the play 3 at the back 3. When you got over to there, Tori and who's that French lad again? I'll come on to in a bit. And Pierre Kalulu, that's the name. Pierre Kalulu. Haven't woken up. I should know that. But I know he said Theo Fernandez then, but no, it's not. He plays left wing back. But Pete, I mean, he plays in the centre, 3 at the back. Can he do a 2 at the back?
Who says he can't? I'm just looking at his strength and weaknesses. He's got strengths of long balls.
Yeah.
He's got no outstanding weaknesses, actually, as well. So that sounds very positive. It really, really does. Plus, who says Milan they said they're open to do business with us because apparently we have some close connection with old Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
A deal that we know what unfortunately happened. But yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit. I think he'd do very well for us, and I would love to see this guy in. Really, really would. And we do need, as I mentioned, we do need the right side centre back sorted as well.
100%. I got a message from Clover as well. Big up to Clover for Australia, by the way. You're going to have a fantastic time. Can't wait to see your vlogs. Oh, by the way, your health kick has you been looking good, John. Well done, mate. Thank you so much, Steve, for that one, Clover. Make sure you don't be a stranger. If you want to come back on my channel, let me know. I'll get you on. And I'm like 15 stone now, and I don't think you'll get any less than that, unfortunately. But I am trying. But yeah, getting there, and I'm enjoying. Just been to the gym with a PT. Thanks for your support there. I appreciate that. If you are watching Clover, and we're going to talk about Johnny D in a minute, Alan. So don't hold that thought. We're going to talk about him next. And big up to Jonathan. I hope you're well, and Jonathan and Kate. Hope you're good. I hope you're having a fantastic time, you too, and look forward to today's game. And would you take in Jamie? Would you take Malick Thiaw for Newcastle United? I would.
Absolutely. And I think you have to weigh up all pros and cons. He's going to be cheap. He's reliable enough in terms of injuries, maybe not so much. But when he's playing, he's usually done quite a good job. As Pete said, there's no outstanding weaknesses. It's usually quite positive stuff. We saw with Mickey van der Ven, he's come from a very similar division in Germany, very similar tactics, very similar pace of the game. And he's been a standout centre-back this season. He's been really fast, and that's been the highlight of his attributes. And I think Malick Thiaw could be again, a really top player for Newcastle if he was to sign. Is he better than Sven Botman? Probably not, but he could work well alongside him. You have a slower version of Botman, and you've got a faster version of Malick Thiaw. But yes, I do think I'd have him at Newcastle, definitely.
100%. I mean, look, he's definitely cheap as well. I don't understand why Milan was selling that cheap, but maybe financial problems. I mean, they're not in debt. They got a lot of money. They got rich owners at the club as well, and Americans as well. So they got Petrovic as well from Red Star Salzburg, I believe, or they're going to get him according to Fabrizio Romano. And if he's going to be a direct replacement, then that should be easy for us to get him in. So, guys, tell us your thoughts in the chat. Right? Would you take Thiaw? 100%, definitely. So let's go on to the next comment. I said about Alan, talked about Jonathan David, and actually now we're here. We are going to talk about Johnny D as well. I mean, he's Canadian international, plays his club football for Lille, and he's been there since 2020, 4 seasons now, 146 appearances, 71 goals. Yeah, he plays in Ligue 1, week lead. Listen, he still scores goals, yeah? It may not be the best league, but he still scores goals. Pete, we've been linked to this guy for quite a long time. He plays right on the left, I believe. Yep. He can play up front. He can also play right on the right. But Jonathan David, I mean, we linked him for a long time. I think this guy could rip up the Premier League with his pace and power.
Could well do. Plus, we need another striker, John. If Wilson stays or he goes, if you can guarantee if Wilson's going to stay, you can guarantee Wilson will pick up an injury at some point because we know how Glass, unfortunately, is made now. That's why we need that striker in. Otherwise, it'll only be Isak as well, and we don't want the pair of them injured because at times we had to have some games without both of them, and that's what we don't want, particularly going into games with a no recognised striker at all. So to get someone like him would be decent, yes. The only thing is you not get ahead of Isak. That's the problem. Considering how much we've paid for Isak and how many goals Isak buried last season, over 20 goals in the Premier League and all competitions as well. But the new striker we really, really need massively because you can guarantee there's going to be injuries next season. You can just feel it, unfortunately. And well, you know, and I've just said everything about Wilson now, how unfortunately he can't stay fit anymore. And a guy, Wilson, 32 years of age, turns 33, beginning of quite early next year as well. So that's why, again, it makes sense to go and get another striker in, whether Wilson stays or he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what it is, right, he can also play as a 10, he can play up front as well. This guy, I mean, we've been after him for quite a while, and he's 24 years of age, right? He's still young. And you know what it is, Jamie, right? What I like about this guy, right? He's got pace and skill, speed as well. Not only that, right? He can read the game, he can track back, and also he can read the game as well. And he can also press the opponents as well. And I'll tell you what, Jamie, one thing I will say, right? I mean, I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. I could be wrong, but if that's the case, we should be all over this guy.
He's always been linked with a move to the Premier League. I think people have to understand that. For the last 3 or 4 years, he's always been linked to Manchester United more predominantly, and now it's PSG as well. And he's more likely to be going to Saudi Arabia than Newcastle in terms of probability. But I think out of the signings that we'll talk about today, he's probably not the most important player that you need to go for. Purely because if you sell Callum Wilson, you get Jonathan David in, right? You don't need to pick him over anyone else. There's more players in the team. There's more options in the team that you can go for, regardless in terms of going for him. If you go for Somerville, Toon and Rafinha, those positions need to be filled more than strikers. Of course, if Wilson goes, like Pete said, he is injury prone. He is likely to be some sort of not available, should we say. But yeah, I like him. I think he's a good player. He scored 21 out of 26 penalties. I mean, no penalties are again becoming more frequent with VAR checks and things like that, always becoming into the game now, which is quite annoying for the team on the receiving end of the penalty. But yeah, he's usually fit. He's only missed one game, and I would take him at Newcastle United for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Big up to Adrian Pitcher. Hi to Aiden. I hope you're well. I think towards the class, I think he's what Botman would need in a partner. He's got the pace Sven doesn't have. He's only 20, he's 23, I think now. I think he's 22, 23. Who knows where Eddie could take him? You know what? This Aiden, all right, that's a very good point. I mean, you got Botman who's slow and he reads the game, great tackler, and then Thiaw just goes out and does this thing and brings the ball out as well, which is great, and the pace and aerial as well. So I do like them both. If they do partner at the back, both young defenders, I think they go a long, long way. And that is not a bad comment. Thank you for that, Aiden. Big up to Pete as well. We have been linked with loads of players. It wouldn't surprise me if you signed someone not even linked, like Paul Mitchell coming in. No Aiken, then boom, it's announced. Do you know what it is, Pete? They do the business very, very quietly now with Newcastle United. Okay?
Well,
who would have thought Paul would have come in?
Absolutely, we did. And I believe that's where the right wing position is going to come out of the blue, like it did with Isak when we got him. This one, I think, is going to come out of the blue. Might not be Somerville, who could, even though we could still get him, but I think this is going to be a big, huge marquee sign on that right-hand side.
We need one.
But yeah, Somerville is a good, decent player. He really, really is.
Talk about him in a minute.
So, yeah, but right wing is definitely probably the biggest because we can't have season playing Murphy every season. And we've said what we said about Almiron now, unfortunately. He's his times now is it this club should be is done and he should be moving on now, unfortunately.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, it should be a new era at St. James's Park here. And and we need someone's going to come. We need someone different. We need someone's going to come in and make a huge difference on the right hand side. We're desperate to get someone on the right hand side, Jamie, because that's what we're looking for. I don't want to go in the new season with Miggy on starting the new season. I know people out there saying, Miggy did a job. Miggy's good. He can turn on the stick. You know what it is, right? We've seen enough of Miggy. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to criticise the lad. But for me, we need to move on from this guy.
Well, ever since the new owners came in, there's been always talk about these big marquee signings that the club can make. Are they going to sign Mbappe, Ronaldo? These unrealistic signings, but you would have expected by now to get rid of the deadwood players, and Lascelles would come under that bracket, and so would Amaron, unfortunately, for those two. They were good enough for the time that you were at, but unfortunately, it's time for them to leave, and you can't hold on to these club legends because they are for that long. Somerville is a brilliant signing, right? What player in this modern day can you get for 20 to 30 million pounds, even if it was 40 million pounds? He's a bargain of a player. He's young. I was happy enough to go and watch him against Tottenham. He scored a great goal early on, and I was like, wow, this player's got something. And he was young back then. He's still young now. He could play anywhere across the front line apart from striker. So left wing, right wing. We know Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon have had their problems with injuries in recent times. He's only missed 3 league games, and he was really crucial last season with 31 contributions in 43 games for Leeds United in the Championship last season. And on top of my notes, the first word I've got is talented. That's all he is. He's just a talented player.
He is indeed. He is indeed. Absolutely spot on the money. And let's go and get him. Big up to Davey. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're having a good day and enjoy the Euros tonight. That Johnny D looks rubbish when I watched him for Lille and Canada. Or he's playing in the Copa America. I mean, look, we don't watch Ligue 1. I'm not going to lie. We don't watch Ligue 1, Pete, don't we? Yeah.
No, we don't really, do we?
We don't. But this guy, for what we see in him, play for Lille in cup competitions, I think he's been really good. That he can be inconsistent, I can't lie, but maybe a new league could absolutely bang up, because if you go in the League 1, it's more tactical. If you go to the Premier League, it's all things good. You got to express yourself. If he expresses himself, we could see a different Johnny D.
Could well do. Who says Eddie Howe couldn't get the best out of him like he's done with certain players? Botman, look how brilliant he was in his first season. Came from Lille as well. Yeah. You never know what could just happen when it comes to new signings.
Exactly.
When they come through the door.
Exactly. Big up to Lawrence, by the way. Hope you well, mate. I hope you have a good afternoon. Hi to my favourite mod, Mama Flossie. Hope she's well. Jamie, she's my mod. She's absolutely fantastic, and she does mods as well. Yeti, also history on more Jess's channel as well. She's the community of the Instagram as well, and I'm part of it as well. Drew Gunner's another mod as well. He comes every now and again. He's a great guy as well. Hope you're well if he's watching as well. Big up to Alan again, and everyone else. And according to Smash It in the Toon 5-0, for bits of Romanos, they're done still. Medical income in days for 30 million quid. That
keep an eye out, because Fabrizio Romano's quite a reliable person.
He is. I mean, don't forget Fabrizio and Alice. Big up to Alice Talks Football, Alice Abrams. Big up to her, big United fan. I tell you what, she's one of the best YouTubers out there. So
just wait for those 3 words. Here we go.
Here we go. Exactly. I tried to get Sabrina as well. Big up to Sabrina Belmonte as well. She's on holiday in Italy. I'll be there in a couple months' time.
Sorry, my camera's gone there, John.
I'm
just gonna come back out and come back in, John.
No problem. Go for it. Pete thinks it's half time.
It's not time to go just yet, Pete.
Exactly. We only played 26 minutes, and he's
yes.
We'll let him off. We see what he's got to do, but that is, we do check on that one soon. Big up to JK, my guy. Hope you're well. JK from Scotland, and big up to you. I hope you're well, and I hope you're staying stronger, as you always do. Yeah. So there he is. Peter's back again. Big up to Pete as well, and yeah. So according to you know what it is, like these ITKs in the know, right? We're not going to mention names on there, of course not. But these people on there making up as well. There's a guy, Magpie Media, Brendan, lovely lad, right? And he gets a lot of stick. He gets a lot of stick from Newcastle fans. So I think it's so wrong. I mean, I don't mind him, but it's some of the other people just love to make it up as well. I mean, it's just crazy, man. I mean, again, crazy. But, never mind. Yeah, so like I said, we've got to, Jeremy. We don't watch League One, don't we? On on players coming through, and we got to trust the agents as well with Jonathan David. I think he needs this move. If he does need a move, I think it'll be really good signing, and we got to give him a chance, man.
Well, I mean, people say, like you mimicked there, that he plays in Ligue 1. I mean, let's be serious. Lille aren't the best team in France, right? You've got PSG ahead of them. You've got Olympique Lyonnais on paper. They haven't had a good few seasons, I know. Marseille will be coming up next season. What I'm trying to say is Lille aren't the best team there. They're a good team, but they're not the best. So for Jonathan David to then move to a Newcastle team who got into the Champions League last season, he's been playing pretty well, pretty good football under Eddie Howe. For him to move here with better players, of course it's a harder division, but he's got better players around him, a top-class manager, be better than the manager that they've won in France. So yes, I would think that there shouldn't really be a problem in terms of adjustment. He's fast. There's nothing that would currently stick out to me that I'd suggest that maybe it'll take a bit of time to getting used to into the division. Look at Isaac. Top player now, isn't he? And he didn't need any time to adjust from Spain. So, yeah, I think Jonathan David's a really good signing. I think it's a no-brainer, especially if you get him for under £50 million. Any more than that, you might want to look towards Somerville, who can play across the front line. I think Jonathan David should be a top signing for you in the summer, of course, if Wilson or Isaac was to go.
Yeah, very, 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 very true. And you, Pete, as well. I mean, John Fade, would you take Johnny D?
Yeah, no, I'd definitely give him a chance. Absolutely. It's like any signing, you want to give them a chance. If there's been some decent facts read up on the player, had to play, you just want to give a chance.
Yeah,
absolutely, John. I know we didn't want to give players like DCL a chance if he did come, but we know the guy's not good enough. We've just seen it, or we've just seen it just by watching the player.
Yeah, fact, absolute fact. John. Good. Thanks, John. Hope you well too. We're moving to Newcastle in August. I'm feeling good. Hope you well too. I am indeed, my guy. And Jake, I hope you're feeling better. And I hope everything goes well for you as well. Exactly where we're at, mate. Just let us know on the DMs on social media. I'm on platforms on X. I'm on Insta, Facebook. Just give us a shout as well. Mark the big Celtic fan. Hope you're well, mate. And let's hope Celtic win the league again next season. Is it, Mark? Just a question. Are we in the Champions League? If we're not, are we in the second round or the third round starting? Let me know, and then go from there. And that would be fantastic. And let's go on to the number one. We're going to go on to, everyone knows who this guy is by now, Somerville. He's got a market value between 30 and 40 million quid. Played for Leeds in the Championship, 22 years old, and couldn't get Leeds out of the Championship, which he's been their star player yet again. 23 goals in 77 appearances for Leeds United. And this guy, we know what he's all about, Jamie. This guy is absolutely brilliant.
It seems to me every year, a bit off topic though, it seems to me every year that the seasons are moving forward and closer. So they're always close together, less of a break in the summer. But that means pre-season's obviously started now for the majority of clubs. However, I think Somerville, there's still a chance that he could go. I mean, I really would think that there's two arguments here. I think Somerville should go because Leeds aren't good enough for him anymore. He's better than Leeds. He can go and leave, or he can stay with Leeds and get them promoted next season. If they don't get promoted, then he will go. However, Leeds United just sold Archie Gray to Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of money was involved in that deal. A deal that could get Leeds a good few players, I'd say, from Germany, second tier, first tier. They can get a few good players out the Archie Gray move. If they sold Somerville in the same window, I think that's a huge dig at the club. I think that's something that's really major. Something serious has gone on behind the scenes because they can't really replace those players in the same window. They haven't got the better players coming through the ranks currently. As I said, 31 contributions in 43 games for a player that will cost you 30 to 40 million pounds. An absolute bargain. He's young. He's going to be called up to the Dutch team in a matter of time. He's played for under 21s. He's played in the Premier League. He played a lot of minutes in the Premier League. Is it Bielsa, who now is a Uruguay job? He's a good player, play all across the front line. And yes, obviously, you'd want to buy him now because Leeds are in the Championship. They're currently standing at 40 million pounds for him. If they went up to the Premier League, they might push that up to 60 or 70. So I'd say buy before it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been linked with a lot of clubs, like Liverpool's been linked to him as well, and a couple other clubs as well abroad. But I think, Pete, I mean, look, I think he also stay in England and in the Premier League. Leeds knows they have to sell because of the failure to get promoted, number one, and secondly, as well, right? That they got to reduce the cost as well. They got to reduce the get that money back as well after that
Yeah.
failure. If they don't, there could be a massive trouble for FFP.
Could, yeah, absolutely, John. And again, we need to strengthen the right wing position as well. I mean, I believe I think there'll be a number of clubs will be interested in Somerville because of how talented he is and what he and his style of play as well, which is really, really good. Very young lad as well, and it'd be interesting to see. But I expect him to be leaving Leeds in this current window, because if Leeds fail to get promoted, they've probably lost quite a lot of money as well. And FFP's in the Championship as well, unfortunately, as much as we don't like to say about the word, because, well, that and PSR, but PSR mostly is what's killing football now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Leeds don't want to risk getting any charges, unfortunately. And because I think Leeds' priority next season will be promoted back to they'll want to get back into the Premier League after just missing out on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We come with someone in a bit. I got one for JK. I see Toon and Antonio Silva are could be Toon players in the window. Would love to see Leal from AC Milan come too, but wishful thinking. John, for JK, you just said it yourself, my guy. Wishful thinking. But for a start, Antonio Silva's got a release clause between 80 and 100 million quid for a young defender. I think he'll stay at Benfica for one more season. But Benfica will sell. They're a selling club, but it has to be for the right money. They will not come to you. When you think about it, Jamie, Enzo Hernandez cost 105 mil to go to Chelsea. That's number one. Secondly, you got Darwin Núñez, cost 85 mil. This guy will not go cheap. I could tell you that for now. I heard one people, this is why no one don't know, 40 to 50 million quid. And I just laughed.
Yes, absolutely. And although I love Darwin Núñez with all my heart, and I think he can become a top player in the end of the next few years, I think this player, though, can be better than Darwin Núñez. I think we've seen it in France. He's proven in France that he can be a really good threat up front. Obviously, he's played against Mbappe's PSG. He's scored goals against Donnarumma. He scored goals against the best centre-backs, best midfielders, best everything. He's played in the Champions League. He's played in all sorts of competitions that would have decent enough players in it to match him up against Premier League standard. He's good enough, definitely better than Darwin Núñez if you want to match him up to him. And £50 million would be a bargain.
Yeah. Darwin, the Bruiser Núñez. Did you see what he did? Thing is, though, I could understand why he did that to protect his family, which is fair enough, yeah. And he's got every right to do that. And I've got 56 people watching. Thank you very much indeed on both channels, or all channels, between me, Pete, and yourself, Jimmy. You got none in a minute, and I've got 220 people watching live on X. So please do slash the likes if you are new, and make sure you subscribe to my podcast as well. And I see Toon and Toon Silva read that. Newcastle and Leeds are both at the Adidas complex this week. Maybe something's going on.
Yep.
You never know.
Yes, we do. We're out there on Monday, I believe.
Yeah. There's a closed door game against Burnley, I believe, as well. From what
there is, yeah.
We need to sell Callum. He is too much injury prone for me. David, you're absolutely right.
He is. He's not going to stay fit again. Where if he stays with us or he goes to another club, you just know he's going to pick up an injury, unfortunately. The last injury he had was a bit unfortunate because it was a pectoral injury. But how many games does he come back? He picks up another injury. He's out again. Go
on, Pete. Come on.
At least there was a few times we saw that last season, unfortunately. And that's the problem. The injuries are really catching up with him now, unfortunately.
I agree, Pete. I agree. I mean, we've got to move these players on now because it's just, for me, I just don't think. I mean, this is the trouble of this club, right? I mean, we just carry on for hangers on. Do you know what I mean? They're on big contracts, right? We get that. They're on about £100,000 a week. You got players like Target, 100k a week. Callum Wilson about the same as well. Yeah, you got Miggy's on 50k a week, and you got Ryan Fiercer probably about 40 to 50k a week. The thing is, though, Joey, they don't want to move. They do not want to move to another club because of the money. Do you know what I mean? Let's be real. They're professional footballers, right? Professional footballers, right? Don't sit on the bench, pick up the money. Go out and play your flipping football, man.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more, and I never understand. I never understand why players the majority of them work so hard to get to where they are. They get to where they are, and they're like, actually, the money's better than playing. So if I can sit on the bench and do nothing, I'd rather just get free money, essentially. They're providing no benefit to the team. Ryan Fraser's old. He wasn't, I don't know why they signed him in the first place when they brought him along with Eddie Howe and Callum Wilson. Really odd signing. Hasn't played too many games. But yes, money talks for quite a lot of people, it seems. And obviously, those players like Ryan Fraser, Target, who really shouldn't be at a club like Newcastle, who want to achieve bigger things than what they can achieve, to get 100k, 50k for these players to pay them per week is just insane. I don't get how, I don't get why. Who offered Ryan Fraser 75, 50k a week? I don't know. Who would do that? Not me, certainly not.
I mean, the getting Ryan Fraser last one, but that's down to the last owner, unfortunately. That is the thing. I mean, Pete, you got to go with what Jamie's saying. I've got to kind of agree with Jamie there because it is absolutely ridiculous. He's got to be blamed for this.
We've still got too many players who we need off who are on ridiculous wages. And again, who does it come down to? Our previous ownership handed out silly contracts and silly wages. We're trying to get rid of them because they're probably sitting there thinking, no, I'd rather just sit and pick up my money I'm in every week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is the season we need to clamp down massively.
That. And I hope Paul Mitchell sorts this out.
Paul Mitchell, he's on board now. He's going to have majority of those signings, seeing on those signings now.
Yeah. I mean, Eddie Howe, we love him, but he's the head coach. I don't think he's got a say now. Paul just come in, excuse me, and he is going to call the shots big time. Do you think Malick Thiaw will start over Fabian straight away if he came? I don't
slowly worked in. I would probably see him alone because, Botman didn't play, he's coming in straight away.
That's the thing.
In the first game of the season.
Yeah. And where does that put Dan Burn, Jim? Where does that put Dan Burn?
Not of the team. In the reserves, never to be seen again. No, I think he should be a coach or he should move away from football. It seems.
I'll be a squad player next season, Burn.
Yes, yeah. I think because he's good enough to play two positions. He plays left back and he can play centre back. And he's not a bad player to have. I'd say he's probably better than
left back's not his position anymore for me.
Really?
Definitely not. Not for me. At the back, yes, and it's been proved the last few games. When it comes to left back, he gets skinned time and time again. Look at the game against Luton. He was woeful. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we just going to speak the
Forest,
truth.
both games.
Yeah, Forest, yeah. Too many to mention. So we definitely need another centre back. Madueke from Chelsea, maybe a cheaper alternative for the right mid. I tell you, he's a good player.
Madueke, he's not a bad player as well.
Yeah.
But again, this will be the big name player.
That's the question.
You don't know who it could be, but it could be anyone.
Exactly.
Someone down the garden.
Yeah, looks like it. I'm going to shut the window in a minute. But I've got my headphones on, so it's cut out everything. So I'll shut the window in a minute. With Bruce now and Bonds now in charge of the medical side, he could keep Callum fit for his expertise. Big up to Toon Talk, by the way. Hope you well. And for me, mate, we still need another striker, big time, 100%. Why don't we do a swap deal for Somerville to Newcastle and Wilson to Leeds? Pete, what do you think of that, man?
Two similar positions. You'd only have one striker still, unless another one was to come in. I wouldn't do a swap deal with them. No, I don't think that would make sense to me, that one.
What
do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, I just simply don't think it makes sense to be able to do that kind of move. I don't think it works for both clubs, to be honest. And it shouldn't happen, should it?
Yeah, you got PG. Good morning.
It's not the real one. Just ignore it, John.
It's not.
It'll be some idiot.
I just hope Mama Flossie gets him banned.
It's on my side, John. Unfortunately,
it's on your side, isn't it? Oh, fair enough.
Just delete the comments.
All right. I mean, you've got one here for Mick as well. This is an interesting one. I hope not, but I think Howell will be on thin ice. Woo!
He's got to get it right next season.
Yeah.
Got to get it right in terms of his lineups and not persisting with favoritism. Unfortunately, we did see that a few times last season. It's now his time to be ruthless. Hopefully, Paul Mitchell's working with him as well during the transfer window, and he's telling Eddie Howe as well. It's time to look ruthless, and if we need to sell players on who aren't good enough, we will do it.
Exactly.
I.e., Miggy Almiron one of those. There's Target as well, Fraser. There's a fair few in there as well. And and Longstaff possibly as well. Don't rule that out.
Oh, he needs to be away. What's that noise? Yes, just a lawnmower, Macca. Sorry, now I'll shut the window as well. I do apologise, guys, and that's why I just logged out for a minute or so. I don't think Botman got much of a pre-season though, did he? No, he's still out injured, mate. Could be different for Tour if he gets a good amount of pre-season games. Yep, that's a good shout. I think Sven could be back in as soon as October, November, but we don't know that yet.
We'll just wait and see. We'll just
wait and see. We can't guesswork on that one, but he's on the comeback trail, so we go from that. And big up to Clarky, hope you well. He is Southgate out all day. It's Ashford cutting the lawn. Oh man, I love that. Absolutely amazing. What did you do, Mason? Cool. Look at the job I'm trying to block in. You do that, Mason. That's Pete's side as well. Lucky enough, I've done it. Thank you, Mason, as well. And we do not accept trolls or bullies on my channel. That is a big no-no as well. I got JK is coming in. Since Amanda and Medad has gone too. Do you think PF will now decide to build a new stadium and new training pitches in the future? I don't think rebuilding the stadium is viable in the current area. Wow, that's a good shout, James. That's a good question as well. Is a new stadium on the horizon, or do you think it's going to stay at St. James's?
I think there's no need to move. There's no need to move out of St. James's Park when the stadium is quite nice. You know what I mean? It's home as well. You don't want to move stadiums, and we saw it with Tottenham for a time where they moved out of White Hart Lane and it was struggling to get atmosphere at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But now they've mastered it. But it takes time to move stadiums. It takes a lot of money. Would you rather what could be up to £1 billion, depending on how you build your stadium, could be more, but probably £1 billion, to build a new stadium, or would you want to invest that into your squad throughout the next few years and see your team win a trophy? You know, that's the reality of it. No club can afford to spend £700 million on a new stadium, and then they can't afford to go and spend £100 million on players like Jonathan David and Somerville in the window.
Yeah, that is a really good first shout. I mean, Pete, I know you're going to go over this one. I mean, new stadium for me, I don't think you need to change at all.
Not just yet. If that was, that'll be well in the future, that one, not just right now.
Yeah. The thing is, right, as well, if you move stadiums, right, I mean, Arsenal's moved, the atmosphere's changed slightly. Tottenham moved down the road. I mean, atmosphere's better. You got Man City changed from main road to the Etihad. The passion at Etihad is not so. I've been there. And the atmosphere there is so quiet for the FA Cup. We made more noise to them, Jimmy. That is the thing. I mean, City fans, right? I know Mancuno Wee comes to my channel. Great guy. I mean, I don't know if you've been to the Etihad. Do you think the Etihad atmosphere is good?
I don't know what it is, because any sort of fan can chant louder than the other, right? Maybe it's because fans are starting to get on board with their spending, and children coming through 7, 8, 9 see the Haalands and the De Bruynes, and they see them always qualifying for Champions League and winning Premier Leagues. That's quite boring. I'd like there to obviously be a bit more competition, of course. I think the problem is with the atmosphere. I think there's not enough true passionate fans, and if there is, they seem to be quite spread apart. You want the fans that have been there since day one, because obviously there is loads of Manchester City fans. I mean, let's not pretend that there isn't. I don't know what it is, but maybe their fans just don't know how to win more than 2 European trophies. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't know what it may be.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? I mean, I've been there, but you've been to the Etihad, Jim, Pete?
I've not been since 2006. Would you believe it?
Wow, that's a long way away. A long way. We got between 3 channels, 64 people watching live. Thank you very much indeed, guys. I really appreciate that. 271 as well on the X as well. So if you watch it from X, do transfer from X to YouTube. That would be one amazing help. Done it back 10 times. Okay, cool. You got Harrison Ashby to be given a chance in pre-season by Eddie before deciding his future. As another player, though, Pete is injury prone. And I know he's young, but the injury 1-year-old, that ain't good.
Might get pre-season, but I think he's going to go out on loan again.
I agree. Cantor handle pace. He looked non-league when I watched him in the Milan derby. He's not a bad defender, though, Macca. Yeah, he's had some poor games. I get that, but maybe in the Premier League he'll toughen up a little bit. And I think it'll come great. I mean, some players are not good in their league. When they come to the Prem, they look a little bit better. There's one player I would have gone for, that Nikola Milenkovic from Fiorentina. Apparently, Falls are chatting to him as well. I'll be over that move right away. I'll be over that move because he is a damn good defender, I'm telling you. And I'm amazed that Fiorentina's decided to let him go after all that time because Vincenzo Italiano's gone to Bologna and maybe he wants to follow suit as well. So, you know what? I think Fiorentina fans will be really upset to see this guy go. Jamie, question for you. What does the sign on the wall behind you say? I mean, Kickoff Studio.
Yes, it's because obviously I'm on the radio and I do the podcast, and that's the name of the radio show that I do. So, yeah.
Cool. One striker I would love to see if you can afford him as Ramos will be a great attacking partner. But he's like, I like Ramos. I do like Ramos, yeah. But he's not getting much games at PSG. But when he does, he has some good games as well. Obviously, a lot of games does. But this guy is a really, really good player. But he's on a 5-year contract. He's just joined them. So I think that one's going to be very difficult to shift. I can't say that won't happen anytime soon. Can't wait to see Sandro playing for us. He looks like he would destroy the team. It's right. Pete, take it away on this guy.
Roll on to September the 1st when we play Spurs at home. It'll be like a new signing. He really, really will be. Look how badly we missed him, unfortunately, when he got his ban. It will be like a new signing, and he goes in that midfield straight away. Whether he sits on the bench, which he might sit maybe on the bench a couple of games, we'll see. But he's going to be back in that lineup. No doubt about that. So sorry, Sean Longstaff. I cannot wait to see Tonali back. We need him back.
100%. And Eddie cannot choose his favourites as well. Big up to Asmia. Hope you're well. And Eddie incomings. There will be a few Asmia. We've been linked to a couple of players. Yeah, I mean,
still early days yet. There's still a long way to go in this window.
Yeah, true. But for me personally, I'd rather get the players coming in. Maybe the Euros haven't helped, but if you get the players coming in right now before pre-season, so they can have a look as well. And I think that's the way to go. But for me, I can't see that happen anytime soon. We got to wait and see on that one. Ashby, I hope you're good, mate. Another 6 are winning at home and coming against Tottenham. Yeah,
let's hope we can beat them again.
Oh, that's the case. Fingers crossed on that one. Tonali will be in beast mode. Yeah, don't get carried away. I mean, it's gonna ease him in. I can't see him starting straight away, but he needs a couple of games to ease him in. And big up to Out and About Rob.
Hey, Rob,
guys. Big up, Rob. Hope you're well. Long time no see, mate. I hope things are good with you. We're posting suggest while in Germany, training camp will be played behind closed door match with Leeds for Tonali to play. I think it was Burnley or one of the two. If it is Leeds, I have to agree with you as well on that one. Toon talk as well. So we can agree with you as well. There's no play we linked to as well over here. I'm going to mention him, Rafinha Jimmy as well. I mean, you've been linked to him because I don't think he's going to get much games. I think Barca are looking to sell him for financial reasons, yeah. And it looks like that name's been mentioned again, but it looks like if he is going to leave Barca, Saudi would be the right move.
Yes, that would make sense. You've got two players here in Somerville and Rafinha. You wouldn't expect them to go for both of them. I think Rafinha is the more expensive option, but he has been proven more in the Premier League. He's played for Barcelona, so that speaks volumes more than Leeds United in the Championship. Barcelona do have financial problems. We know that they do. They're in the process of building a new stadium. They need to sell. They even got to a point where they were selling their seats in the stadium and selling grass on the pitch because they need to get some money income coming back into the club because... Actually, do any of you know why there's been financial problems at Barcelona?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It was again.
It's billion. I mean, they're just in debt because they spent money.
Yes,
which they didn't have.
Yeah, so they need to sell. And you got Lewandowski, you got Felix is at Atletico Madrid, but you got Rafinha, who would be an option to sell when Lamine Yamal's coming through at Barcelona. It would make sense for Rafinha to go. 23 contributions in 37 games last season. And again, he's been proven to not have too many injuries, only missing 2 games last season due to injury.
Yeah, good player. Yes, he's a good player on this day. And I read somewhere that Barcelona needs 130 mil to balance the books for FFP before they can buy. So they're looking to sell players. So I have Rafinha's one of them. And he's a valuable asset to sell. I'm sure Saudi will buy him. If they do that, they will pay the money. But we need to get players out as well to shift them out as well. Like I said, there's too many to name, Pete. Too many to name. We just went through them as well. Too many to name. And you know what? Work out yourselves, man.
And it'll help with our FFP as well to get rid of this Deadwood out.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one player ain't going anywhere. All right, we are going to discuss as well. It's Anthony Gordon. Now, the Chronicle, I don't know if you've seen it, Pete, all week they said linked with Liverpool, United, you know, and they said they just typed it up. Sean McCormick is one of them. There's another guy from the Northwest as well saying about Anthony Gordon. It's just absolutely.
Where are they getting this from, John? I'd like to know, considering it's a Chronicle, but considering it's pretty much a lot of the headquarters are based in London now, unfortunately. You know what these southern journalists are like at times? They just want us to sell players. They just want us to sell our top players now.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want to pick on us, you know what I mean? But they need to, the thing is, right, the club, they need to come out and stop this and say, look, he's not going anywhere. That player's not going anywhere. They need to tell us and say, look, enough's enough. Anthony Gordon is going absolutely nowhere. And please back off our club. You cannot stop speculation, but only we can stop that is the club. The club's that they come out and say, and that needs to be done, Jamie, because I tell you what, right, we as a fan base are sick of it now.
As you should be. And it doesn't make a lot of sense for the Liverpool move because Liverpool have got Gakpo, Salah, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and Diego Jota. They've got 5 players, right? 5 players that can play anywhere across the front 3 or 4, however you want to line up. Obviously, with Arne Slot coming in, he likes to play 3 at their back. So that's more attackers that could be needed. So that could be an option for Gordon to come in and be a bench player. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. I think he literally just moved after pushing through and moved to Newcastle. That's a good move for him to go ahead and boost his career even more. It doesn't make sense to me that he's been linked. Manchester United, I can understand, but are they willing to pay that sort of money when they still got Rashford who can play on the left wing with Højlund up front and Sancho on the right? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. I think, like Pete said, the club should just come out and say Gordon's not going anywhere.
Yeah, fact. I mean, Arne Slot plays 4-2-3-1.
Plus, why would you want to go back to an area you can't wait to get out of?
Exactly. Totally agree. And it needs to be stopped. Is there any news on me? You're going to one of the Saudi clubs? You've been waiting for months, JK, for months now. Just
what's going on with that.
Exactly.
Plus, another thing with Man United, does our owner want to spend money, considering he not paid? He sees players like Braithwaite at 30-odd million.
Don't get it.
And I've just signed Xerxes as well.
Yes,
Xerxes is a fantastic player. Xerxes, great player, great young player. And I tell you what, I think he'll be really, really good for United. And I tell you what, this hates us to say, I think they're going to have a good season. That signing right there.
We'll wait and see.
Wait and see in that one. I hope we beat them though. For me, Rafinha's wage will be too high. Alan, he's on about 200k a week at least there. And are we not trying to get a new contract for Gordon? I'm pretty sure Gordon has stayed, as he said, he's very happy at the club a few weeks back. He's out of contract until 2026, yes. So he's got 2 years left on his contract. It needs to be sorted out, JK, because that ain't long, 2 year. It needs to be sorted out. And Ray Terra Firma, hi to you, man. I hope you're good. Give it a fair play.
I've just looked up. So Arne Slot plays a 3 in attacking. So they have like a libero where one of the centre backs pushes into midfield with them closing in. So they're looking like they play a 3-3-2-2 when they're in attack or something along those lines. A 4-2-3-1's in a defensive shape. So yeah, that would make sense for Gordon to kind of slip in on that left side. But again, if you're going to play with that, you're going to play with less wingers. So those 5 wingers / strikers that we've currently got, you wouldn't think that Gordon would need to be in addition to the team.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for Liverpool this season. I think they're going to do really well. He hasn't got to change the slots, but I think they're going to have a good season again. Fair play, get rid of fair play. That's been rated to the firm. It's making transfer windows awful. Every club should be able to contract 5 to 10 players at whatever wage they want, and then salary cap for the rest of the squad. I think that's a fair shout. That's a really fair shout.
This PSR is killing football massively. Look how many teams are getting charged with it. Like Leicester City could be starting on minus points next season.
Yeah, I totally agree. They got
Killing
turned down.
football.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's getting
Because
worse.
clubs like us have got money now, and they're frightened because they don't want these so-called clubs to miss out on certain things.
Fact.
And that's why City won't get charged. I don't think City are going to get any sort of relegation, as they should for their breaches, if you want to play by this rule book. But I'm not entirely sure why there's not a set rule. So if you go into a challenge with studs up, that's a red card. Where's the common sense in the element? 115 charges, and they still can't make their mind up as to what's going to happen. They need to be relegated, deducted points, and the club needs to be reshaped, because you can't allow Everton to be punished, Forest to be punished, possibly Leicester to be punished, but Manchester City's fine because they go ahead and win Premier League trophies. It's not fair, and it is making football extremely boring to watch, and these windows even more so.
I agree. But we'll see what happens on that. But I could agree with you guys. I can't see City. I think what they do, Premier League and City will shake hands and say, look, don't go to court. You don't take us to court, we'll take you to court. Shake hands, over and done with.
Man City's a well-run club, though, I would say, though. That's the thing.
They are.
So they're going to have the money coming in with the things they win. And they've got a lot of sponsorships on board as well.
They have indeed. But it's going to be interesting, but we'll see what happens on that. But one thing I will say, right, the arbitration, we don't know what's going on with that either. That'd be interesting. Sancho would be great sign for us on the right, but he's on 300k a week, though. Ask me.
And apparently he's had positive talks with Ten Hag.
Yeah, he could be staying, but there's links. He's been linked to Juventus as well, so they even need to get rid of the players they've got, and then to make room for Sancho. So Thiago Motta is their manager as well, and I think he'll do well. They needed a change, to be fair, and I think Motta would change everything. Who they want is Lewis Ferguson. That's what they want, and I think they're going to have a great team there. They want our top stars because they're scared of what we are going to do. Alan, you're absolutely right. That's a fair comment, man. And there are still links with DCL, if that's true. Mitchell needs to say no to how not good enough. Peter, I do not want this guy anywhere near Newcastle United.
DCL, no. I think his injuries have caught up with him, and that's why he's not getting as many goals than he has been. There's better out there than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Everton were caught about nearly £40 million with a guy who's got 1 year left on the contract. I'm glad we immediately walked away from that.
You know what it is, guys, right? This is what I get on social media, right? I said to myself, this guy ain't good enough, yeah? And then people will jump on us and say, so not going to give him a chance there. So, no, we see you know what he's like. Be ambitious. Ask someone the question. How ambitious do you want to be? Can you see DCL going to win us a title? Can you see us winning a trophy, yeah? And he hasn't got back to his talk whatsoever. Because I tell you what now, some of our fan base, not all, but some, are just so happy going along with the ride, yeah? How about being ambitious, right? How about aim higher and thinking about winning trophies, yeah?
And it's another injury-prone player bringing through the club as well.
Yeah, facts. And that's what we try to say, people, Pete. We don't have a problem, right, of people not watching our channel, yeah? That is cool. That is fine. But if they talk shite, that is where we have a problem, yeah? We put them straight. I say, no, he is not good enough for Newcastle United, right? We deserve better than DCL. It's as simple as that. We need a younger player, a younger striker who's going to go out there and make a difference with injury-prone centre forward. But for me, there's just no way we could do with DCL. I'm sorry.
No, I think 40 million for a guy who's got a year left on his contract.
Yeah. This is the trouble with some of our fan base, you know. They're just happy to get anyone and anyone.
Would you give him a chance if they came through? Yeah, you would, but he's not a convincing signing at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, fat. And that's why Paul's comment, make sure that doesn't happen at all. Peter, that's a fantastic comment.
And Paul Mitchell's not going to be scouting players like DCL and mediocre bang average players like them.
Yeah. We need to get players like Xavi Simons, someone like him, yeah? Let's go for someone like him, yeah? Let's be ambitious, yeah? You know what I mean? I can see a comment about him as well. JK saying, what do you think of Pedro Neto? Do you think you do well in our squad? I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Toon shirt. Good player, injury prone again. He's an injury prone player yet again.
Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
Great player, but he's got legs like, people say he's got legs like cheese strings, unfortunately. And again, Wolves are caught about 60 million for him. What does that say as well? And look how many times he got injured last season. Both the games we played Wolves, he was off. He was off injured.
Yeah.
And again, yes, and that's the thing. I mean, he's great on his day, but again, can't stay fit.
This is the thing. We need players to come in right now. Scout Europe as well. Take a chance on the Bundesliga. Yeah. Bundesliga 2, player second division. Yeah. They still get packed houses in the Bundesliga 2. Yeah. And I do love European football. Like, you know what I mean? I do like to watch a bit of European football as well. I really do. Obviously, so it has to be favoured, but that does stop going to watch the Spanish League, German League, Jets French League, Portuguese. Yeah. Bring it on. What beaches, Jamie? I mean, beaches for Man City.
Yeah. Look, on the internet, you'd find more about it from 2009 to 2013. They didn't give details on how much they were paying their manager. Quite a simple thing you would have thought. From 2010 to 2016, they didn't give full details around payments to players. From 2013 to 2018, they didn't comply with UEFA's FFP regulations. Yeah. And from 2015 to 2018, they didn't comply with Premier League's PSR rules. So those are the breaches that they need to be dealt with. The one that really sticks out is how they can't give details on how much they pay their manager. What's going on there? You know what I mean? It's all these questions that need to be answered. And, you know, John, you mentioned that the Premier League and Manchester City could just shake hands and put it to bed. There would be uproar if that was to happen. Everyone's expecting Manchester City to be charged, even with a point deduction. But we're expecting something because it's not fair to go for the smaller clubs, but then to keep Manchester City all right, to let them go ahead and legalize, is that a word? To go ahead and do illegal businesses in football behind the scenes of fans' eyes. It's not fair and it shouldn't happen. And there'll be uproar if it was.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the thing. But you know what? One thing I'm going to say, right? We have to wait in interest as well, just to see what happens. But the arbitration is the one we want to need. I hope Man City wins the arbitration. That's all we want to win. The arbitration. If they win that, then the Premier League are in big, big trouble, yeah? And they'll the quick without a paddle. And that's as simple as that. And that means they have to accept our sponsorship as well, by the way. Sancho didn't out for United, overrated in his opinion.
Well, the fact is he was treated disgustly by the club. Yeah. Sancho came out and admitted he was struggling with his mental health. And the club just hung him out to dry. Well, Ten Hag absolutely hangs him out to dry rather than support him.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you know what I'm saying, Dean? Do you know what I mean? And talk to him, sort him out. But apparently he didn't do that. But I don't know the ins and outs. But people, for what you're telling us, man, it's not good. He needs to talk about it like men, you know, and apologise. And Sancho needed apologies. That's it. But it's been positive talks, by the way, according to the reports as well, and you as well, Pete. What's your take on Romano saying we're inquiring about Xavi Simons on loan? Do you know what it is, mate? That'd be a cracking signing, but that won't happen. You could pick that. You could pick the clubs as well. You could choose to pick other clubs as well. And is it PSG, by the way? He is in PSG, isn't he? I think he's at PSG. Because someone lighting on that. I'm sure he's on PSG. Yeah, if I'm wrong, that'd be embarrassing in my case. I do apologise.
Yes, he is PSG.
I thought so. I think he went out on loan, didn't he?
When did he sign for PSG?
2023, and he went to Leipzig on loan.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
Leipzig.
Actually, he did start in PSG in 2021-22. He went then to PSV permanently, and then went back to PSG.
December to Leipzig on loan,
and then just had a season at Leipzig on loan. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Good player as well.
He is. That goal he scored against us was absolutely amazing. Absolutely class. Honestly, man. That's only because we gave the ball away.
Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight then. It's coming home tonight, guys. It's coming home.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So Simons to United was only if they sell Sancho. Yeah, that is very interesting. Very, very interesting there. We're going to talk about the main man as well. I mean, Paul Mitchell. We haven't talked about him that much. Paul Mitchell comes in as our new SD. I think, Jamie, this guy's going to make a difference. He's going to make a huge difference to us as well. He's going to do better than Cashworth.
It would make sense that the club have to have a restructure, which is what they've gone ahead and done. With Eddie Howe and a lot of talk about him, I would expect that he's under a lot of pressure. He needs to do well this season. He needs to beat expectations as a minimum and possibly go into a semi-final, final, and possibly win a cup, because Newcastle won't be mucking about now. They've got a new sporting director. They're not slowing down with the pace of signings. We've seen it with the people that we've spoken about today, with Jonathan David, Somerville, Rafinha, and Malick Thiaw. They're really good players, and they wouldn't be linked to Newcastle if nothing was going on. There's some talks with at least a few of these players that are going on, so it would make sense for Newcastle with this new sporting director, Paul Mitchell, to be able to go ahead and make some big signings, a restructure of the club, which they've already done, and now Newcastle are going to be even better, we all hope, next season.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Before you come on to your tape, Pete, Ashley, I'd come on to you as well, mate.
Yeah, Paul Mitchell's not going to be mucking about. Absolutely. We've got to get it right from the beginning next season, because we've got definitely some winnable games next season. And if it doesn't have a good start, they'll not be messing about. Well, PIF will not be messing around now, since they've now bought Amanda and Mirdad's stake, since them two are leaving now. So, and Paul Mitchell, of course, will be working alongside close to them, and with Jamie as well. They'll not muck about if it doesn't go well next season. But Eddie Howe still has my full support. Still has my full support, Eddie Howe.
100%. He's got my vote as well. And I'm going to support this guy as long as he's manager in Newcastle United. I know people's going to say, oh, his time is done. People want him sacked.
No.
People said to me on social media they want him sacked. I just ask him why. And say, who would you take then? And he goes, do you ever take Conte or they take Zidane? But none of them said, Conte is on the side of 3-year deal in Napoli.
Conte is a one-season wonder manager at times.
Yeah.
Well, one season he does well, then he'll not go well the season after.
Yeah. They're going to have a big season, Conte. Napoli, so they're going to have a big season. It's on a 3-year plus a year's extension. I'd be interested in him and Aurelio De Laurentiis, the president. I tell you what, those two will be like fireworks, I'm telling you. They'll be like, and if he did, like he did at Tottenham, have that 10-minute outburst, which I think it was right, then he could be in big trouble, Conte. Big time. And what do you think of Dejan Kulusevski? I'll call him Decky as a player. I think he's quite a good player, very good on the ball, but also inconsistent as well.
Yeah,
and very inconsistent. I think he's a good player, very inconsistent. Which team do you support, Jimmy? He's a Newcastle fan.
No. No, wrong way.
Elliot.
Liverpool, Watford, Tottenham, Newcastle, all of them. I'm a football fan, as they say.
He's a football fan. He is a football fan, which is a good thing. It's like me, when I start going to Italy, I'll be back to Italy for vlogs as well. Rome will be my first step. I'm going to do the Colosseo, Spanish City, then hopefully do like a Roma or Lazio game, and then go out different places. I'm going to up my game as well. Eddie is a king. Long live the king. Mick, you're 110% right on that one. For me, on Paul Mitchell, he's going to come in. He's not going to muck about. He is going to get the players like he does with Red Bull Leipzig, Southampton, Tottenham, and Monaco as well. And he's going to do exactly what he's going to be doing. He's 42 years old. I hope he stays for a long time. But he's another one that doesn't stay at clubs long, Pete.
Oh, sorry?
Paul Mitchell. He doesn't,
but we'll wait and see. Hopefully what we've got is a club now, the project we've got, will convince him to stay for such a long time.
Yeah, 100%. We will see what happens on that one. Look,
he'll not be like Ashworth. No way he will be.
Definitely not. And you know what? We're going to have a cracking season. Let's hope that Malick Thiaw will be first through the door. If we do get him, I think it'll be a good signing as well. And before we wrap up the show, got one here from Toon Talk as well. Have you seen Forest Channel and Telegraph saying they've only paid 15 mil for Elliot Anderson? That's a new one. This is why, right? Nobody knows how much they actually paid us for a player. Yeah, for me, it's all guesswork now. They're not going to tell you the truth. Undisclosed fee. Forest come out and said that they paid 35 mil for Elliot Anderson, right? Newcastle's come out and said as an undisclosed fee. What do we know, Jamie? Can you tell us, man?
Not a lot, unfortunately, and it's all well and good throwing out rumours, and usually there's some sort of estimate price, but that doesn't make sense as to why Forest would go ahead and tell you how much, and it wouldn't make sense as to why Newcastle come out and say it's undisclosed. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, if both clubs agreed on a move, you would have thought with Paul Mitchell in charge and both sides of the club, you would think that the club got it correct, whatever the fee was. But it's weird. I don't get why, because obviously fans like yourself and like myself, we go to the games to support clubs and whatever it may be. You buy shirts, you buy tickets, you buy everything, and you don't get told how much that money is going towards these players. It doesn't make sense as to why players aren't getting. There's not information as how much players cost, but I'm not sure why.
It makes no sense, Pete, doesn't it? It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. And again, the
sense.
Telegraph reported it. Is it reliable?
That's the thing. I mean, you got Luke Edwards there as well. And what's this?
And I always take Luke Edwards, and I take Luke Edwards with a pinch of salt, pretty much.
I agree. I mean, sometimes he loves his wine, doesn't he? He loves his drink. That's the thing. He loves his drink. And that's why he comes out and say things like that. What do they call it, guys? Slow news there. Slow news there. And I want to come on about Chronicle, right? And back to the Chronicle quickly, right? I mean, they talk a lot of crap. Once upon a time, right? They had John Gibson, Alan Oliver, right? Both spoke the truth, right? I don't know if you know those. Jamie might not know, but Pete does, you know, back in the day, right? And they speak the truth. If it's not true, they'll come out and say it. It's not true. Alan Oliver would. Yeah, but unfortunately, the Chronicle reports it 2 days after the rumours come out, right? And I'm not going to mention the names, right? Because I had 2 guys who works for the Chronicle, 3 who comes on my channel, came on the Chronicle. Charlie Bennett, great guy, but he's a freelancer now, right? Andrew Musgrove, right? Good guy. And Dominic Scher. And I'm not being funny, right? But I think they need to just shut up now, right? Give us positive feedbacks, right? What's going on at the club, right? And don't spout out shite like that. Because at the end of the day, right? I will have a go on them again. I think the fans have done it for them themselves. I think the Chronicle now are absolute crap newspaper now. That is it. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, it's the headquarters is in London now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Just come out and please speak the truth. There you go. Talked about the Kenyan way. Big up to you, my guy. Hope you're well. And just with guided to you, Jamie, I'm afraid this guy's no idea about City charges. Stop talking crap. Nothing to do with smaller clubs to be in charge, and City aren't. I've got massive respect for this guy. And also added, it's a much bigger case. We have said not guilty. Everton Forest said guilty. Can we give facts and not clickbait? Mate, you know what, Marta? I respect you, man. I mean, look, I'm not going to say much. If fans want to come out and say so, cool, that's fine. But I'm not going to say much. I mean, I hope City win the arbitration. Martin, you heard it from me first. I hope you win the arbitration, my guy. I really hope we do. But at the same time, I know I said that they're going to end up shaking hands and just say it doesn't exist. I'm going to wait and see. People's got different views. I'm going to wait and see. So, and Jamie said, Jamie, you need to get a Toon shirt on your wall.
It's coming. Don't worry.
That's from Alan as well. When Alan speaks to you, listen, Martin, I hope you well, mate. And I'm hoping to come back at Old Trafford, not Old Trafford, Etihad next season. And if you do come up, we'd love to meet you as well, man. That'd be brilliant. This is why fans don't understand. Anything that's driving fans gets giddy. And I've seen a lot of them on social media saying that you should get relegated. I've not once said they should get relegated. Not once. But nobody knows. We have to wait and see. And Mick as well. Big up Mangoy. The Toon stands with City against discrimination and corruption. That. The thing is, though, I hope they win, right? And then if they win that, the Premier League's going to be in big trouble. They're going to have to accept our sponsorship as well, Pete. I think it's by Marco, I believe. Because
yes, something like that. We don't know. Well, there was talks that apparently they were delaying in one of our sponsorships, apparently. But if that's the case, disgraceful. And Richard Masters should be walking away from this Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. Hatred takes over, John. Total joke. But have we heard from Liverpool Standard Chartered court case because of their involvement in, well, I won't say it. And it ends up saying red cartel. But I've got to admit, Martin, that's the first I've heard about Liverpool as well. But I tell you what, right? Nobody knows. I mean, they got charged 115 charges. I know people's taking a mickey, but at the end of the day, out of respect, I'm not going to take the mickey out of Man City. No way. Because at the end of the day, right, it's not our club, and we're not like that. Yeah? But we'll see what happens.
I think ultimately, though, I think just people want a fair game. No one likes the FFP. I don't understand it, but I think everyone just wants it to be fair, and that's the way that we want it as fans. We don't want one club getting a priority over the other. I think everything should be done fairly. There should be a clear rule book as to what happens, and that's the way it should be done. Whether we get rid of FFP, whether we allow clubs to spend as much as they want if the owners have got it, but I don't really understand it, to be honest. I don't get why they've got it in place, but they do. So let's just keep to the rule book and keep it fair.
Yeah. Fair shout, fair enough. So we'll see what happens on that. And Alan, let's have a look at this one. Martin as well. Yeah, Robbie John, as red media as SUM. Sir John admitted there's a red cartel. Do you know what it is, right? I mean, this needs to be sorted out very.
Radcliffe, I can't stand the bloke.
I tell you what, though, with Radcliffe as
said he never hit a garden leave. What a load of rubbish. And always had a go at us because we wouldn't cut a cheap price for Ashworth.
Deary me.
All I can say is watch the guy go and be a snake at your club next.
Interesting. Do you know when the away kit's coming out? I know it's this month, but it's their actual day. JK, I've got no idea.
Still not sure. It could be any time. That's it.
Sir Jim, sorry. Yeah, we know what we mean, Martin. And Alan said, Martin, Newcastle is with you or they're away. And they said, no, you said smaller clubs are being treated differently. Then said you don't understand. So just admit it. Hatred, don't backtrack. That's from Martin. Jamie.
From what I've seen, right, and this is from talk, not just me, this is from everyone who's had an opinion on social media or wherever it may be. From what we understand, clubs like Forest and Everton have been deducted points for breaking some sort of rule. If Manchester City have also broken the same or a very similar set of rules, they should also be charged. 115 is the number, which would be bigger than what Everton's and Nottingham Forest's is. So surely they get a bigger punishment. That's all I'm saying, and that's the part about being fair. If one club gets deducted points for one breach, then surely they should be times by 15 because Manchester City have done it 150 times. Do you understand where I'm coming from? It's not hatred towards any club. I like Pep Guardiola as a manager. I think what they've done is fair in terms of what we see from the outside. Maybe internally it's different in the club. But yeah, I just want it to be fair. 115 charges. Let's see what happens.
Cool. Sorry, John, but us City fans ain't taking it anymore. Rightly so. I hope you win arbitration, my guy, and I hope this 115 charges gets sorted out very, very quickly because I tell you what, this just drag it on and drag it on and drag it on. And we also need to know when that court case is going to start again. And we have to find out. Big up to Joe Robson, but I hope you're well, Joe. Hope you're well. And also Cry on the City channel then. That's from Andrew. Oh, I tell you what. I don't think Martin will be pleased with that as well. But Martin knows about City. City fan. He knows the ins and outs as well. So you must know what's going on. So for example, we're going to wrap up the show soon as well. Everton's been charged with shoplifting. But Man City has been charged with 5 murder cases and gone on trial. What takes longer? Yeah, that's a fair shout. That's a fair comment there. What will they do with Man United? They are millions in debt. Do you know what? Never. They're not doing a thing. But if it was some debt as well.
Debt doesn't affect FFP, but look how much they're in by.
Yeah, that. It makes no sense, doesn't it, people? It makes no sense. But still. But anyway, on that bombshell, we're going to wrap up the show. It's been a fantastic show on the transfer show as well. I really appreciate that. And being on for an hour and 20 minutes. And I think it's been a good blast. We had over 70 people watched it live on my podcast. Me and Pete's sharing this stream as well. And 330 people watched it on X. So thank you very much indeed for that. And we're going to shut the show there as well. And Jamie, again, your second time on my channel. Did you enjoy coming on, man?
Of course. I'd like to say I always do, but of course it's only been 2 shows, but I've enjoyed both of them. I thank you very much for allowing me to come on, and it's been a good hour and a half.
Fantastic stuff. And where can we find you on your channel, man?
Just my name, Jamie McCready, in all sorts of platforms. Jamie.McCready for the podcast. You can listen to the interviews that I do with various fans, footballers, professional coaches from around the world, and on Instagram, TikTok, wherever it may be. I'm on the majority of social media platforms.
Fantastic. And he's going to get Mortal. Good on you, Mick. Good on you. And there is the channel as well, guys. If you those who hasn't followed Jamie's channel, do hit that subscribe button on Jamie's channel as well, which is absolutely fantastic, and Unite Radio as well. Thank you for that, Mama. And don't forget Pete as well. Apologies, I was angry, but I had enough of false dieters, John. Why I've tried to explain it so many times, even on yours I have. You know what? For those who don't know, right, do go on to Mancini Ways channel. And if you want to talk about arbitrations, all things City, do go on this channel as well. And, you know, he gets a lot of views and also long ones as well. He's a great guy as well. And he speaks sense as well and speaks straight as well. And great show. Thank you, JK. Pete, where can we find your channel, man? What you got coming up, man?
So you've got, if you just take the comment off, if you don't mind, John, just so I can get my name shown up.
There you go.
Your Mama Flossie's put in, that is my channel. So please do check out and subscribe. On the way to 2,200 subscribers. Help us get there as soon as we can. Your support is always appreciated. I'll be back with the fan reaction show after the game. So this is where this is people's chance to come on, or if they want to just tape on the live chat and have their say on the game. Hopefully it's coming home tonight.
Come on, England.
Yes. That's how we do it. That's how we roll, people. And got a win tonight. 2-1. I'm going 2-1 for England tonight. I've got to be positive tonight. 2-1 to England. Pete, what gives your scoreline?
I've said 2-1 to England tonight.
Coming in it. And what about you, Mr. McCready?
I reckon it's going to be 1-1 in normal time. And then we're going to bring on Ollie Watkins for Harry Kane. He's going to get another late goal before it goes to penalties. We're going to win 2-1 in extra time.
Ooh.
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. There's Pete's channel. Links down the title there as well. So do hit on Pete's channel if you're new to the channel. Big up Pete as well,
Martin.
So I mean, that is
no worries,
fine.
no worries.
I mean, look, we don't normally have block capitals, but you know what? Martin's different. So we'll let him off. He's only if you can do it in capitals. I don't mind that at all. Come on, England. Will Gordon scored a winner. If he gets on, yes, Alan, I agree. Have a good evening, Mama Flossie. Love you. Lots of love to you as well. Do follow Mama Flossie on Instagram as well. And leave her some messages as well. All things Newcastle United. She'd be quite happy to chat to you as well. She's young and she's got, and also she is fantastic as well. And I love her a lot in a way. I was a cops not my hair. That's absolutely fine, Martin. It's fine. There's no bother pumps at all, my guy. And for me, I'll be back in a couple of days' time. I'm hoping to get Sunshine, a big United fan, on Tuesday. I will let her know what's going on there, how she comes on my show. And smash those likes on the way. Please do, because we've got 70 people watch the show and eat like, which is fantastic. Thank you for Mission D for that, Martin. And guys, if you like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's do this tonight. Come on, England!
Come on, England!
Come on, England.
And I'll see you guys in the next show.